now, but we're having a little bit of a disaster here. We're already live.
Just do it with this. It's fine. Just scoot it back.
Oh my god.
I'll scoot it in.
No, I'm in this.
It's fine. I'm right here. We're good.
this is so ridiculous.
It's fine.
You know, maybe we'll pick up more subscribers. It's fine. All right. Hey guys, and I know we're already live. Happy Easter out there to anyone.
Yep. Happy Easter, guys.
I know it's like 10:30 right now where we are. We just got done seeing Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire for the second time, and we're really pinned in here to the screen. But so our initial thoughts on this movie, I gave it a 9 out of 10. I think you gave it a 9.5.
Yeah, I gave it a 9.5 out of 10.
We both thoroughly enjoyed it, but I think I can say definitely I enjoyed it a lot more this second viewing.
Yeah.
It was a really good time. Really glad we went back to see it again. We were a little bit farther back this time, but Jake, what were your thoughts after the second viewing?
Yeah, I mean, after the second viewing, I honestly, like you said, I enjoyed it more. I was able to appreciate more. I saw things I didn't see the first time. And I think just once you see a movie the first time, this is how I felt about a lot of movies in the past that I've really enjoyed. I mean, John Wick 4, all the Jurassic Worlds pretty much, definitely the first two. Like, just after seeing it once, I don't know, the thing about it the second time, you appreciate scenes when they happen more. And sometimes, obviously, this can go the opposite way. You might find some things you don't enjoy as much, but I mean, for this one, it only enhanced my viewing experience of this movie, and I really do. I solidify my 9.5 out of 10 for this movie. It was that much fun. The cast did a great job. Don't listen to all these critics saying it was poorly acted. I thought every actor did a great job in this movie, and just an all-around fun time in the theater. And I really great. I'm so glad and grateful that this universe has extended now to 5 films. When people didn't want to see, when I say people, some critics didn't want to see it continue, but guess what? We're continuing.
It's happened.
We're here. It's now, and it's live.
No, but yeah, I do think watching this the second time, the first time we saw it, we were basically in the screen, literally inside the screen, front row. Was too close for sure. We had some good luck with John Wick 4. It turned out really well when we were that close. But I think we watched it from the front row, the second time from the back row. So this was a much better viewing experience.
Hey, what's going on, Mountain Warriors? Kalen,
yeah.
Good to see you in here.
Yeah, Mountain Warriors, Alvaro, Kalen, good to see you guys all in here. Let's see. After this movie, I need to watch the first one. I gave it a 9.5 out of 10. That's good. Yeah, I gave it a 9 out of 10, but I think I could probably.
Yeah, no, seriously, Kalen, if you need to watch the first 4 of this. Obviously, the first one's Godzilla 2014. Second one is Kong Skull Island. Third one's Godzilla King of the Monsters. And then fourth one was Godzilla vs. Kong. And this is the 5th one. Obviously, Godzilla vs. Kong is more important to see before this one. But it is cool to see the backstories of the characters, though, in the previous 3.
Well, there also was the TV show that I didn't even mention in the review that, unlike the Marvel ones where they kind of say, well, you kind of have to watch this to understand, you do not have to watch the show to understand the movie at all. It's just monster action. There's some little Easter eggs. I think maybe not even Easter eggs. I watched the whole show. You really don't have to watch the show to enjoy this movie. But I guess it does help a little bit. But I think as far as major spoilers go, I guess we should just go into the main monsters in this movie. I have a video coming out soon, my top 5 favorite scenes, but one of the first monsters you see in this movie, you see Kong running away from some kind of like hellhound type creatures.
So we don't know the names of these things?
I know some of them, but I know
they're like dog wolf things.
The dog type creatures.
But they had like warthog like faces or snouts almost.
Yeah, they were really creepy. There was a bunch of them running at Kong. We don't know why.
And it's kind of weird they'd be chasing after Kong of all things.
It just doesn't seem like a good idea. But he didn't have his axe at the time, so it was a little less threatening. But that scene, he ends up ripping one in half and scaring him away.
Before that, you even see, it almost looked like they weren't war bats. They were like pterodactyls almost. I don't know what
Before
they were. The first shot you see is pterodactyls flying in the sky, and then you see Kong run away from the hellhound things. Which that's not the names of these things. That's just what we thought they were. But yeah, that part where he rips the wolf thing in half and green blood just goes down his whole body was sending a message. It was kind of crazy how he ripped his head off, like then threw it towards the other things, and then he's taking a shower under the waterfall, and it was really cool world building to start this movie. You see, I mean, I hope we in this live stream we'll get across to each kaiju and thing that we saw in this movie. But yeah, you saw the pterodactyls, Kong, the wolf things, and then I believe the next thing we see on screen would have been.
Well, the next thing was, I guess,
Dog.
probably Sil. Oh yeah, that's true. Doug was in this movie that Jake didn't really remember him exactly, but we were watching that.
I
movie
sort of
again.
remember it.
I mean, he's in a very minor scene, but the director had mentioned he wanted to bring him back, and I mean, it's such a minor character, but I did think it was a cool little Easter egg. He steals his food, and then Kong hears the growl and gets out of there.
You know what's
But
kind of
Doug
crazy
is
about
kind of
that?
close in size, though. I feel like so he might be able to be in Monster Madness. Maybe.
The only thing I was going to say positive about Dog was he actually won the tug of war. I don't know if Kong was actually trying to get the food.
No, he wasn't trying.
But I mean, Doug won the tug and then took it and left. So it's kind of crazy. He won the tug of war.
He only
there.
stopped because he heard the growl. That's why he stopped.
Was that growl? Was it actually that frog?
It must have been.
That's crazy because the next thing we see is this really cool frog thing that when it I'm not sure what the correct term is for this, but when it expanded, it like was huge and pink and then went down and made like a loud like. I thought that would. I honestly, the first time I saw it, I thought that was gonna be when we saw Scar King.
Yeah, well, I did too. I honestly thought that was Scar King, but that was a cool little creature, the frog that was making the noise.
Yeah.
And then Caitlin Branch said, "I do have to say, I thought the video guy was gonna die." Yeah, I forget what his name is. What's his name?
Bernie.
Bernie. Yeah, I thought he was fine.
Don't Bernie me.
See, now it totally takes away the serious aspect of the movie, but I did think he was really funny. But I honestly, I didn't really think any of the human characters were really in danger. I knew that one guy was in danger.
I was disappointed that I forget his name. I knew it after the first time. I'm blanking on it right now. But the military, violent, like serious guy who was in charge of the contraption to fly down there, the leader basically.
Like, let's do this.
Yeah, I didn't want to see him die that early because every time he was on screen he was funny, and it was really frustrating to see him go really soon when the guy's on Hollow Earth. Like he
gets eaten by a bush.
I guess he made it to. I mean, if you think about his journey, he made the trip through Hollow Earth. He landed the vehicle. He got the campsite area, base 1 or whatever. And then the first little like walk he made, but then he was just done. Yeah, I guess that was the next monster would have been this tree branch,
grass,
some kind of a. The second time I saw it, you had a better view of the mouth, but you really did not get a good view of this thing. It was some kind of a tree, like an uprooted tree. It looked like, but then it just ate him.
Yeah, you didn't really get a good look at it at all. Yeah. But yeah, that was a little weird. I feel like the next we get the Scylla fight with Godzilla, and that was the kind of thing I was saying.
Yeah.
I couldn't say in the non-spoilers. I really don't think Godzilla needed to be in this movie till the very end. Honestly, I don't think he needed to be in this movie till the very end fight. But there is an awesome scene, like I mentioned in the video coming out tomorrow, hopefully, where Godzilla charges with Scylla, and that's when we first saw that front row. It is like such an epic wide shot that like one monster's way over here, one's way over there, and it's an epic wide shot all the way till they collide. And I thought that was excellent. Godzilla freaking they both are running at each other. They bump into each other. He throws him around and then just absolutely destroys him.
Yeah, I guess we might as well talk about the Godzilla versus Scylla fight. Obviously, that was pretty put to bed immediately. Godzilla took an initial little hit, but then just knocked him back, threw him across the city, went over, and absolutely just he shot what's the
atomic breath.
Atomic breath, basically, until it was like a yellow blood exploded everywhere.
Yeah, he absolutely annihilated him. It looked like he still almost was closing his mouth where he couldn't use it. Yeah. But the atomic breath is definitely Godzilla's crutch. He uses that a lot in battle, and usually ends the battle.
Yeah.
And
I guess do you want to just, since we're not going completely in order, you want to jump to the next fight for Godzilla?
Yeah, we can kind of just go over like the monsters, I guess.
Because that's one of the next monsters we see is well, it's not in the same order, but Tiamat.
Tiamat's domain.
I guess you saw him in they did kind of show it in the movie when they showed the skeleton of this like sea serpent thing. That was Tiamat basically.
The big skeleton?
When they mentioned Tiamat, they showed the skeleton of Tiamat, and they were like showing what his powers were, and razor sharp scales and stuff. Yeah. And you never really got a good look at him. He was obviously a fully underwater one, but Godzilla shows up. There's a little bit of a tussle, and actually, I think Tiamat had a pretty good bite down on Godzilla. But once again, Godzilla basically absorbed all of his power, this pink power, and then it just cuts to this like wide shot.
It's
And
true. I didn't even think about that. That's why he's pink. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Wow.
There were some cool features to Godzilla when he was upcharging into pink stuff. Like his eyes were like glowing. That was really cool. Like with smoke coming out of his eyes. I did appreciate that. But yeah, that fight was pretty quick. And then
he rips
him in half, throws his head. Yeah.
He like wraps him up, and he has a cool. The underwater sound effects are really cool, and it's cool to see it's an underwater battle because. Just like Jurassic, you really never get to see underwater creatures for the most part.
And we get 2 in this one.
Yeah, and so that was cool to see the underwater sound effects. They collide. It's a short battle, but it's really cool.
And then he goes into Tiamat's lair to basically... I think he actually froze himself, but in doing that, was absorbing all of the powers. And what was the term in the movie? Is like to be supercharged or something? Yeah,
he's supercharging.
Or readings are showing he's absorbing
if he gets all that power, he's gonna supercharge.
Yeah.
But I think probably the next the next monster.
Do you want to jump to the?
Let's jump to the Kong.
That's what the
Kong mugging shot.
So you see, Kong drops down into, I forget what the exact term was of this area. It was the subterranean realm, which is the uncharted territory of what we know of Hollow Earth. There's probably a million other uncharted territories, but. He gets there, and you see this giant one. I'm like, is this going to be Scar King already? Then I remember the trailer shot, and it was Zuko. And I did not expect Zuko to bite Kong and fight him the first time, which Kong obviously didn't appreciate.
He's brave.
He is brave.
He is very brave.
And he took off after him, and then that's when you see this other one drop down. And as he turns around to look at this one, he gets mobbed and mugged by these 2 other Kongs, and he's getting pinned down, but then... Shortly after, Kong knocks out one. I think he actually killed one because there was a shot when he's walking away with Zuko later.
He slams.
You see one laying there, either unconscious or dead. The one that ran away and gets hit with the rock, that one gets freaking beat up throughout this movie. So I think that's the same one that came back later, right? Yeah. So
it's what's sad because Kong sees these new Kongs, and he's like the first time he sees them. And it's like, it should be a good moment, and then they try to kill him. And it's so sad. And then he tries to save him, tries to stab him, kicks him off again.
The one that he saves, which I think might be one of the guards, honestly, he saves him, and as soon as he gets him up, he tries to stab me. Like the Scar King, that's one of the confusion part here. Were they sent there to kill Kong, or did they even know where Kong was?
I think they're just scouts trying to take anything that's near. It's
kind
of strange, yeah.
Don't you think you'd be a little suspicious? Like, what is this thing? Like, it's me. Like,
they were probably trying to take him back. Because they were going to knock him out, I think, at first.
With the knife is going to kill him.
The one guy had a club, though.
The guy had a club, but the one guy, though, had the knife.
I don't know. Maybe he was.
Shank.
We just read some comments here. So, Caleb Brand said when the vet said he knew something was there and he started screaming, I knew something was coming. Yeah, that's the freaking bush guy.
Yeah. That shot, should have watched. Like, when I say something.
Yeah, and I knew that guy was pretty much going to die from the beginning.
There was a funny argument. And there was a funny scene after that when they were like, they immediately started making comments like, we'll mourn later, and he's like quoting something, and he's like, some guys are eaten by a tree.
Yeah, so that guy was doomed from the start.
Yeah.
Red Comics, good to see you in here. He says, I have to say, Adam Wingard really knows what he's doing. This movie had the lowest budget of the franchise, and yet it looks amazing.
That's crazy.
Has uninterrupted CGI sequences, impressive. Yeah, for sure. That, especially that end battle. I was just thinking, I remember they mentioned a scene that wouldn't have any people in it. And that one at the end, there's no one in that city.
Yeah, no dialogue.
Well, at least no one that we know.
Well, there's people in the city.
People are definitely dying.
They didn't show them.
They didn't show them. They're just getting stepped on.
Yeah, people everywhere. The beach was crowded.
No, there's no human interruption. And it's just epic scenes.
Scar King just yells at all of them and starts whipping his freaking whip around.
Yeah, we're getting out of order here, though. But that scene with Kong, I mean, when he picks up Zuko, it was kind of crazy that he bit him.
Oh, yeah.
But then the fact that he jumps on top of him, I mean, he's either really smart or really dumb.
Yeah. And Kong grabs Zuko and just, first he whips one guy and he throws him another guy. And somehow Zuko doesn't break his neck through all that.
Yeah, somehow Zuko survives that, which he would not have. But I guess he has durability.
And we mentioned how he saves the one off the cliff.
Yeah.
Pulls him up and ends up kicking him off the cliff again as he try to kill him.
He's like,
and then the last one tried to run off. But Kong, with his left-handed throw, shows his precision, which actually shows how in Skull Island he was able to throw that tree perfectly into the helicopter. So
I didn't know he was left-handed.
It was a great throw, and now one turns around and yells, and then keeps running towards the lair of where Scar King is.
Well, that's true. And even but the Zuko scene there, when he throws he hits 2 of them, and then he just absolutely freaking like throws Sugo, the last guy, and
Yeah.
he's just so beat off. But you can tell Kong is definitely elite. I mean, he is kicking the crap out of these other Kongs, so he has a lot more experience, battle experience. Red Comic said, "I loved how they told a story through Kong's expressions and spending uninterrupted time with him and all the monsters. Kong finding his own kind was great. Yeah, they definitely told the story through Kong, and that's the thing is, I just feel like Godzilla is obviously there's a lot of Godzilla fans out there. I like Godzilla, but Kong, for sure, is just like you can tell the emotions coming off him, and it's just a great character. And to think he's CGI is just kind of crazy at this point because we've been following him since Skull Island. And
I think someone made a good point how that scene when anytime Kong's on screen, this could be applied, but especially the sequence when him and Zuko arrive at the lava Scar King like lair. That entire sequence is portrays so much story and how like without saying a single word and just having these Kongs and Zuko on screen, like Zuko seeing the father or the mom of him, and then Scar King dropping down, him knocking out the one Kong is about to get beheaded or kicked, and Kong helps him up, and all this stuff is being done, and we understand the emotions, and not a single word is being shown, not even any sign language. It just shows a lot how like you don't need dialogue for scenes to work. I mean, expressions and like you said, Red Comics, like the expressions in his face and the body language of everyone just portrays the scene in an excellent way, which you don't see much.
I think also the scene, the last one I mentioned is the scene where Kong gets attacked by the Kongs.
Yeah.
When he's hanging out the cliff, he saves him and still tries to kill him. I think it just sets up how much Scar King, how much power he has, because basically he's summed it up to these Kongs like this is their world. There's nowhere they can go. Basically, they're under his rule, so like they might as well try to serve him or they're gonna die no matter what. And that's pretty much that just shows the pull that Scar King has in this world.
Yeah.
And that's I think says a lot to the power of the villain. Red Comic said Scar King was probably the best villain of the franchise since he has a personality. Though I still think Skull Island is the best movie. Godzilla is my third favorite. Godzilla vs. Kong is my second favorite. Yeah, I'd agree. I just it sucks because I wish Scar King had so much more screen time. I wish this movie was longer. He definitely shows the most emotion out of any villain because you think about the Mutos, obviously. All the other villains are mainly animals.
You don't see emotions.
This is the most human-like villain, for sure. Yeah, and watching the second time, I just love Scar King. I think he's amazing. I wish he could have survived.
More. Yeah, you want more.
Yeah, I really wish he could have survived this movie because you can make some great trilogy with him as the villain.
And that leads right into before we get into this whole Scar King sequence, which we've already kind of talked about a little bit. Zuko shows Kong this lake, which you kind of get Smeagol vibes. From Zuko's. He's like, I'm like, what's he setting him up to see here? And then this giant serpent thing comes out of the water, and once again, Kong. I felt the same way when he was fighting the Kraken thing, the octopus squid thing in Skull Island. You think he's gonna die, and he just all of a sudden the thing's just beheaded and he's done. Yeah, how's he gonna overcome this? And he's eating it like 5 minutes later. So that was a really cool scene. How Zuko's trying to run away. He threw his like Godzilla spike sword or what do you want to call it?
Yeah, once again, they needed to. I wish I knew the name of that creature because that was a very cool one. Yeah. It was kind of like blue and yellow. Was in that lake, and it was really cool. I think that one could probably come out of the water too. For Monster Madness, I try to stick with the monsters that can stay on land and go in water. So that's gonna be kind of difficult with Tiamat in that one. But I need to figure out his name. If anyone knows, please let me know. But that one was really cool. It had short screen time, but it was definitely a cool monster. Now, what was the next one after that?
Well, actually, really quick, just as far as the emotion goes, I'll touch this really fast. How Red Comic said that scene after that, Kong tries to give Zuko food, and he doesn't want to take it, and he takes it, and he sits down. Just that quick little sequence starts to show some bonding between the two without any lines.
Yes, it does set up great sequel opportunities.
Definitely.
With them working together.
Yep. But yeah, do you want to read his comment, or you want to go to the whole Scar King sequence?
Well, so Red Comic said, will you do a ranking of the franchise?
Did we do that now or a separate video? Maybe we do a separate video for that.
I probably will. It's going to be tough because there's a lot of... I still think Godzilla vs. Kong has the best 1v1 fight. But as of right now, Godzilla vs. Kong, this is probably up towards the top. This might be my favorite movie.
It's up there. I think I agree with Red Comics. Skull Island might be my favorite movie out of all of them. But this is probably second.
I think Skull Island definitely has the best human characters. But yeah, it's gonna be close. I really like this movie a lot more after the second viewing, so I'm gonna need to give it some time.
Yeah.
But it'll be a tough list to make, but we'll have to do that eventually.
I definitely agree with the top of your list, Brad.
Yeah, but so I guess the next scene is probably the Scar King. Right, the Scar King encounter. Is that the next?
Yeah.
scene?
So basically, the next kaiju sequence. Well, actually, no. I take it back. There is one more kaiju sequence before that when they enter
That's true. They see the
the
yellow
realm.
things.
These like yellow electromagnetic things are really cool looking.
Yeah,
They honestly remind me of banshees, to be honest.
they did. Yeah.
And they fly with them, and they say that they're predators, but they only attack when provoked. And because they're so powerful with the electricity and their bite or their powers, or whatever. You never really see these powers portrayed very like that in the movie
Yeah,
itself.
you don't see him.
But it was really cool how the ship blended in with their skin color, and it just it gave a good reason as to how they were blending in and not being attacked by other things. And
Yeah,
you did see
it was
some
really cool.
warbats too.
Yeah, you saw a lot of war bats.
Huge herd of
It's
warbats.
crazy. You see like 50 of them flying by.
Yeah.
And it's like one of them's already deadly enough.
I was gonna say if they all flew down, that's a major problem because Kong's struggling to fight one. Not just because he just got down there, but
No, Kong's just like sees them flying over like they're nothing. Like,
yeah.
One of those just almost killed you.
And you
Like-
saw those pigeon bat things
Yeah, that's true.
eating grubs.
Yeah, and but no, the Scar King scene. I'm just get to that scene because the Scar King entrance scene. It takes a long time to actually see him. You see his effects. You see him destroy one of the outposts. But the whole build up to finally getting closer to where Scar King is, and then Kong goes in there. You see him battle off one guy that's abusing one
Knocks
of the
out
Kongs.
the freaking guard.
He's trying to talk trash to him, and he just knocks him out. But then you hear Scar King's growl. It
Fair enough.
pans
Guards.
over. No, you see the Kong heads on sticks, which is just brutal for.
Yeah, that was really
for this
brutal. I
kind of
did
kids
not expect
movie.
to see that. They had, and that's why when I saw that, when the one dropped the rock, I'm like, oh god, they're gonna cut this thing's head off. Which I'm glad they didn't. But at the same time, that would have just emphasized how messed up this guy is. Which I didn't want to see that, but there's a pros cons to that. Which seeing the heads on the pikes definitely did enough to show me this guy's not messing around. He's a freaking bad dictator like character. He really is. He's running a bad thing down here.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that alone sent the message, but it really was sent even more when he gets there. And I mean the whole sequence you just mentioned, how the one guard got mad at the one Kong for dropping the rock, and then Kong stands up for him, helps him up, knocks him out, and that leads into when even Suko is like, oh shoot, we just freaking.
Suko definitely, I think, gains respect from him at this point. I think
Yeah,
he
he
kind
gained
of
more
did his
respect
last
there.
point, but
Yeah,
this is where he really realizes like
but even
the
Suko here
wrong
was.
path.
Suko was like, I don't know, we just because he went like this when
Yeah.
they were panning up. To, it was, and that's a really cool shot to go up to show where Scar King is. The two guards are massive Kongs.
Yeah.
I would love to see those two in a fight as well. But then Scar King comes out. We have a video of it. We can't show it now.
No.
But you want to say what he looks like?
Well, so it pans to the shot. We've seen it before, but he's just sitting on his throne like a friggin' boss. And then you get the guards, but then his eyes are glowing in the dark. And they really don't explain why his eyes are glowing
It's
still.
Godzilla powers. They
I know,
never got into
It's
it.
kind of frustrating, but it's a friggin' awesome shot. He's kind of hunched over with his eyes. He comes out, just walking out, freaking pushes Kong out of the way, and you can just tell this Scar, like, this is a freaking awesome villain. And the way he stands there, the way he stands is literally like McGregor, right? I swear, it's weird because he stands there like a boss and he jumps down, and just that whole sequence, I've got to say, is just so well done. And there's no talking at all, which is the craziest part.
Yeah.
There's just monsters on screen, and it's so well done. There's so much like dialogue and things expressed through the monsters without any talking, and how he gets the whip slash out, swings it around. That whole scene is just excellent.
Yeah, we said how like we wouldn't be surprised if we found out that Conor McGregor was doing the motion capture for Scar King, because he walks out and stands there like a complete boss and jumps down, and then it was really cool how everyone's bowing down to him, and then Connor's looking around like, why are you guys all bowing down? Like Kong doesn't bow down
Kong's
to
the only
anybody.
one that doesn't. Yeah.
And then he gets close to him. He makes fun of his like metal tooth, which they come back to that later when Kong knocks his tooth out, and he laughs at him for losing his tooth. But in that scene, though, this is one of my negatives. Is in my opinion, I'm not going after the personalities. I agree with Red Comics. I think he is the best villain in this franchise so far as personality goes. But don't you agree that Scar King needed to be taller and skinnier? Because this time,
He was supposed to
especially
be taller.
the second time I saw this, it was. I mean, when he walks up to Kong is just Kong. First of all, is taller. I think
He's
He's bigger, taller, and like more intimidating. Other than the fact he has this whip and can control Shimu, like they needed to make a scene where like what I was hoping for the first time was when he gets close to him, Scar King stands up completely and he's like towering over him and beats him up like a lot. Because again, when you saw that first teaser trailer a year ago, I'm like, this thing looks massive,
He's
a
like the
freaking
coyote from
monster.
Barnyard.
But in that shot, I'm like, he is a little skinny. So I wasn't wrong when I saw that originally.
Bulk up.
So he needed to bulk up, and he's just, I don't know. I mean, he does kick that one Kong because he was about to freaking beat up Luke Suko for us. I don't know, he got mad at Luke Suko for like bringing Kong there. Is that why he got mad at him at that point?
So he's towering over him.
Because why? Because really, he was about to beat up him, and then the one dad or mom stands.
I don't even know why he's
for
mad at him.
But he started yelling. And then he does it. It's a major kick. He kicks me. Not only did he kick this, it's really sad, but he kicks this Kong into the lava. But the lava's like this where he is. The lava's over here. He had to kick him pretty airborne to get him to the lava.
So he doesn't skip leg day.
He at least had good extension.
no. That is true. I do think he should have. But you can tell his hand-to-hand combat is superior.
Yeah, I did think he had actual fight skills. Second time seeing it.
You can tell he's kind of messing around with him. He's fighting, and with the whip slash, he has a clear advantage there. But then Kong kind of he starts fighting back. And I think he kind of does underestimate Kong because once he throws him around, I think he kind of
stops the one. He's like slap. Let's get Shimu out.
Yeah, he's kind of like, I don't want to take on this guy actually, because then he gets Shimu out.
Just use the cheat code.
Yeah, he's basically like, I have this giant pet Godzilla. I'm just gonna send him on him before I get injured.
Which we still didn't understand. In my opinion, it looks like he almost like ripped one of the blue things out of Shimu's skin because obviously it's gonna Shimu. That was a great entry shot at him. They stopped the lava with a rock. He's underneath the lava waterfall.
Well, before we get into that, I'm gonna try to catch on some comments. Then we can get to that. Mountain Warriors, hey guys, sounds like a good one. Happy Easter.
Mountain Warriors,
appreciate
Happy Easter.
Kalen Shrew caught me off guard when he first bit Kong.
Yeah, I agree,
Kalen. Scene. Yeah, for sure.
Great point.
And Red Comics, I met a couple people who worked on this movie, but I don't know what they did on it. I have talked to one of those guys about him working on Mortal Kombat 2. That's really cool. Yeah, I know. Red Comics is in film school right now. That's really cool. I mean,
that's a great scene to look at.
Yeah, there's a lot of people. I wish we get interviews with people that worked on this movie. See if they're gonna make another one. And that's really cool though. Gabriel said, "Dude, evolved Godzilla is crazy. Do you think he can beat Mega Kaiju this time?" I don't know. I mean, it'd be a good fight. No, for sure.
He just disintegrate him.
I mean, people think Godzilla could freaking flick a grain of dust at Mega Kaiju and kill him, so you can definitely kill him out. Now, it'd be a good fight for sure, and we're going to find out. That matchup might happen in Monster Madness, so stay tuned. Kalen Brandt, at the end, I was kind of thinking that Godzilla and Shimo were going to stay together.
That was cool how he followed Kong back.
That would have made more sense. But Godzilla's too busy for just killing everything in sight.
Who knows? And Godzilla might have said, "You guys have to go back to Hollow Earth. That this is my domain."
Yeah.
Like, he may not have given him a choice.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, Shimo might have tried to walk away from the portal, and Godzilla was like, "No, you're going to effing into that portal."
Yeah, that's the thing though. Godzilla finally met his match there in Shimo, I think.
Size-wise.
Because there was a scene where Shimo was just freaking trucking Godzilla backwards, and so that matchup was going to be in his favor, I think. But of course, he turns good.
Yeah.
Because Godzilla would have had an issue there, for sure. Red Comics, I don't think a villain always has to be bigger than the hero in order to be intimidating or dangerous. Scar King is more like an orangutan, which are skinnier. No, for sure. And that's true. I mean, he doesn't need to be bigger, because I think his hand-to-hand combat was for sure superior. I do think, though, there would have been some benefit to him being... I think they were like right around the same height. But... the weird thing is, I thought he was supposed to be taller from all the things I've seen.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be way taller, I thought.
And fine. And you know what? He doesn't have to be taller, but if he's going to be smaller, he needed to freaking absolutely whip Kong the new one in that first fight, which he didn't. I mean,
he was. He was strangling.
They were keeping points. If they were keeping points, it was 50-50.
Did he get one clean hit on the...
He body slammed...
He threw him.
Out of a chokehold, he threw him into the ground and immediately... And after that throw, Scar King was like, "I'm out. I'm bringing in Shimo."
He didn't want to He didn't want to mess around.
Right.
He wanted to make sure he didn't get injured at all.
What did Scar King? Okay, the first
He
thing
was
that I
kicking
saw,
the crap out of
he gave
Kong,
he gave a good he gave a good kick initially and was whipping around his freaking his skeleton whip, and he got a couple cool like listen, he got some good hits in him. He got some good whips in. He's choked him out for a second, and then he got body slammed. But I think he got hit too with an elbow.
No.
I think he got an elbow.
If we're breaking this down, Kong, like, so he throws the whip. He misses on the first one. So
Yeah,
you can
he
give Kong a
dodged
point
that.
there. You can give Kong a point there.
Got a
He
dodge.
comes back around. He freaking wraps around his hand, cuts his hand. I think the next hit, he tries to throw his axe. He blocks it, rips it down, and then I'm pretty sure after that he literally disarms him of the axe, takes the axe away. Then he puts him in a he delivers an uppercut. I'm pretty sure. One uppercut.
We're missing one
wraps
punch from Kong here.
No, he wraps the whip slash around his throat against the waterfall. I think the points is probably like 10-2.
I mean, it was pretty cheap. He stole his weapon. Was freaking holding up like he freaking defeated Kong.
He
didn't defeat Crash. Shimu freaking gave him frostbite on his left hand. Right?
It was kind of
right hand.
Yeah, but wait, let's see. Where was I at the? Okay, Kalen Brand's true and his arms were much longer. Yeah,
he definitely had longer arms, but he had better reach.
Yeah, so it made the uppercut a little easier towards the middle of the fight.
Yeah.
Red Comics, there's no way there won't be another movie after this. Adam Wingard wants to do another one. Yeah, I really hope it makes a lot of money. I really do hope he can come back to direct a third one.
Yeah.
Take the trilogy.
At least, right. He said he wanted to do a trilogy. And on top of that, like you said, Red Comics, this is a great point. The director that did Skull Island, I would love to see him have a second chance at the movie. He one of the best movies out of this franchise. Bring him back, see what he has to offer in another movie.
Wait, who?
The guy who directed Kong Skull Island.
Yeah.
Because he's only done one.
Well, yeah, and these movies are endless. I mean, I could watch these movies forever. There never needs to be an end. I'd love to see Pacific Rim crossover, and there'll be a video coming soon.
We were talking about a Civil War.
Well, that's true.
Godzilla versus Kong Civil War.
Even though I feel like they've already settled that, but if they did have it,
an actual Civil War.
Yeah, I mean that would be.
That'd be really cool.
That'd be a possibility.
I mean, that's really Monster Madness at that point.
Yeah.
I don't know where you would meet.
You have a literal bracket in the
huge. I mean, that'd be freaking amazing.
But then Gabriel says, "Did you notice Shimo has a similar body build to Mega Kaiju?" Yeah, completely. I mean, really similar actually. The only difference is that Mega Kaiju has two tails instead of one, even though Shimo's tail is kind of similar.
Shimo didn't look like he could go on two legs though.
No, I don't think so. But yeah, I'd say that's probably the main difference because Mega Kaiju usually on all fours. But if Shimo did stand on his back too, I think he'd be like 1,000 feet tall.
Yeah.
So, no doubt. And I really hope we see that matchup with Monster Madness. If we don't, then I'll be doing it in a singular video. I might do that before the tournament anyway, just to make sure I get that matchup out there. Red Comics, I love Dan Steven as Trapper. I do miss seeing Millie Bobby Brown, though. I hope in the next one they bring in another cool actor. Yeah, for sure. I thought he was really good as Trapper. Millie Bobby Brown is definitely a good actress. I mean, I feel like in these movies, she had I think more integral role in Godzilla King of the Monsters. I feel like her role was more important there. Godzilla vs. Kong, I mean, she was fine, but I feel like the humans were more irrelevant in that movie.
Yeah.
For the most part. But yeah, they've got to bring...
She did a good job.
Yeah. Then...
That's true. She was in both Godzilla King of the Monsters and Godzilla vs. Kong. Remember she stole the freaking the sound to bring King Ghidorah. That's when King Ghidorah did the freaking double, triple arch back.
Yeah, like taking as long as possible to blow her up. No, and that's what Mothra did too. Though Mothra like lined it up for an hour before. Red Comics. Have you heard of the Gareth Edwards, the director of Godzilla Rogue One, and the creator is directing the next Jurassic World? Yeah. I heard something about a Jurassic sequel.
Yeah,
but I didn't know if it was real.
No, that's real. That's a great point, Brad. I heard Scarlett Johansson's going to lead that movie.
Really?
Which makes sense because it sucks. I hope they bring back Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard, but it is going to be cool to see where they go with that because there's a million different ways.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I heard that somewhere.
That's interesting. Gabriel says Shimo did stand on two legs when there's electric bats for attacking. That's true. He was doing
kind of bucked back like a horse almost.
Yeah, is it a he or a she though? Shima. I'm pretty sure it's a she.
Maybe because Mothra's a she, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like it's the queen of the monsters.
Yes.
That's what I know.
Okay. So then Shima's the queen of the Godzillas.
And we've not talked about the human actors.
Yeah.
I'm glad the Red Comics talked about Tracker, because Tracker did a great job. I will admit, the first time I saw his character singing on the ship, I was like, "What is this? Like, what's going on here?" But then his character, that made sense to his character, and some great Tracker when he first showed up singing on the ship. Like, this is not a good sign, but it ended up being a good thing because his character was really funny. I love the one joke about the Ace Ventura pet detective. I'd rather go off my readings than your beliefs, and then but all the human actors did a great job. The main leads, but the kid, I don't know her exact name, but she did a great job in this movie. And unlike some reviewers, she was in the entire Godzilla vs. Kong and had a major connection with Kong. So I completely buy that relationship throughout both movies, and it's a really key part to kind of the human. I mean, first of all, she's freaking face to face with Godzilla later in this movie.
Yeah,
which is crazy, but that is true. It is
she is lucky that Godzilla is calm now.
She is kind of an extension of Mothra at that point. I mean, they're a tie. I mean, I'm not really sure exactly how they brought back Mothra, but she had a major part in doing so. And when you made the point on Mothra is the same mind no matter what body it is, because she did give her life for Godzilla and Godzilla King of the Monsters.
Transports to the new egg.
Right, but her that wasn't. I'm not lying. That relationship between her and her mom, that really was emotional. I didn't cry, but I felt that both times seeing this movie when she's like, "You can stay here," and it's like, "No, you are my home." That was a really cool storyline there. So for people to just jab and I feel like it's they think it's just a cool thing to say any human stuff's bad. It can be bad, but in this case, it was actually really good. And every time they were on screen, whether or not you want to say they were doing exposition dumping at all, which I appreciate at times, so I don't have to think as much. Everything that they were talking about had a part to the movie, and when it wasn't, it was a funny joke. So
yeah,
I thought the characters in this movie did a great job.
Yeah, I thought they were good. I mean, I thought like we said, what's his freaking name? I don't remember any of that.
Tracker, Bernie.
Bernie was don't Bernie me. I was there. Bernie was really funny. Thought he was great. Tracker was good for sure. And then the main lead, main female actress lead was good. And I thought they were good enough. It's a monster movie. They're throwing down, they're breaking stuff, they're killing people left and right that you don't care about. But they did their job. Yeah, they did their job.
One of our bigger complaints was we think it was too short. We thought it should easily been 2.5 hours.
For sure. It should have been longer. For sure. And then before we get into the next point, I don't even know what we're going to next. Red Comic said Kong riding Godzilla, though. LOL.
Yeah, that was epic.
It's definitely awesome.
I wish I hadn't seen that before the movie, though.
Then Red Comics, I must admit, Kong and Godzilla destroying the pyramids triggered me. The death toll in these movies.
Yeah, the thing that triggered me, Red, was when I do agree, destroying those priceless freaking pyramids is horrible. But
Godzilla, you think he cared about the freaking pyramids?
On top of that, there was a point where, again, I don't think Godzilla's ever been working hand in hand with humans. He has just kind of had the same goal as humans a few times, but this time, I mean, there's a few times where he purposely stood up and took out a bridge when he did not need to. He could have just went under it to save the
bridge. There's one bridge, boom, another bridge, boom.
When he takes the one bridge out, they zoom in on a car going into the water to its death. I mean, it's freaking horrible. That is kind of sad that in these movies, we're just watching and enjoying the fight, not realizing how many people are dying in the background of these freaking scenes.
No, and they're no, because I was just watching Godzilla King of the Monsters. That is something that needs to be addressed. In that movie, they're saying, we need to save Godzilla. He's helping us. And in this one, he's purposely crawling, knocking buildings out of the way, knocking bridges out of the way, just tearing through everything. And it's almost like the joke of how it should end is just imagine what would have happened if Godzilla didn't show up. And he's just destroying. And what was Scylla going to do that was getting worse than Godzilla?
Scylla was pissing crap off.
He was killing people?
But,
what was Godzilla doing?
No, he didn't save the day at least.
But at the end of the day, it's monsters killing. It's monsters fighting.
But you can tell this movie and the director didn't really care about that, because there are movies that they purposely go out of the way. Like when in Batman v Superman, when they land in some area, they made sure to have a line where someone's like, "That place is inhabited." Before things are getting blown up, just so they can't say they're dying.
Well, that is true. And even in this movie, I think it's pretty self-aware when Tracker, they make Mothra appear out of nothing. Kong and Godzilla are fighting.
There was something out there.
No, but then the the tracker says, like, while we're throwing crap at the wall.
Yeah.
I mean,
I definitely appreciated that scene where, like, first of
they're
all,
basically
at that
none
point,
of
the
this
plan
makes
is, like, first, Kong just got up and left, and without even hesitating, the girl just, I guess she just had the same belief as Kong. She's like, Godzilla can't come down here on his own, and she's like, I guess she just knew that was where he was going, because he could have been running away at that point. And then, and when that happened, they had this plan with these freaking pyramids connecting to create no gravity.
No, they pour some liquid into the ground, and
that's why. And when they said and then when they said they're evacuating, they were all looking around and like running around. And the point that was so funny, the second time I saw it, was Tracker is just immediately walking away, and he's like, "Since we're all throwing crap around, I'm gonna go grab this car and bring some other things in."
No, while we're doing this, I'm gonna go fly over here, get this metal arm, fly over here, do this. While you pour this liquid into the ground to make the gravity.
So I guess at that point he's just positively like
you really have to turn your brain off.
His character should do it angry ever. He was always positive, so even then he's just hopelessly going off of their plan. Like, and there was really funny scenes
Red Towers, hey, glad you could join, man.
Yeah. Have a good night, Red.
Yep.
Appreciate you
Thanks
stopping
for joining.
But there were some really funny scenes, like when Bernie is staring at that one guy. He's like, they make eye contact. It's polite. He's like, "Don't think it's working for me." They're just staring at some guy. And then there's one where he's like, "This hell monster land." And she's like, she can understand everything you say. It's like, "Oh," which is a great area to start a family.
Yeah. No, that I do think though. What's the next? I guess so. You go Scar King. You get.
We covered all
after that. Kong, he gets his arm messed up. He's crawling away. Suko helps him out by killing most of the Kongs with the rocks.
Yeah, the traps that he built were cool. We didn't we didn't talk about that. Like, Kong built some traps that used to take out the wolves. Yeah, definitely. Who else would have built them?
That wasn't his area, though, was it?
Because he knew exactly where it was. It's like the Kong saw the rope and stepped over it, and then Suka was there to unleash it, and which is terrible. The one Kong used the Kong as like a shield, despite knowing the rocks are gonna fall on everybody. So there's no reason to just hold someone ahead. How do you like that?
That guy was a quality human being.
No, it's horrible.
No, but then he goes. They go back to get their metal arm, and then they kind of gear up, and then that kind of gets us into the pyramid scene, where Godzilla goes full form, comes out of the Arctic, is suddenly on a mountain. Kong goes back with his metal arm with the gauntlet, jumps in the portal, ends up in Cairo, stands up, is growling, basically giving the Alpha Titan signal. Basically challenging Godzilla, because Godzilla doesn't know where he is. He gets that signal.
And Godzilla does a perfect dive.
Godzilla's like, I'm not going to stand for this crap. He's on the top of the mountain, does a perfect full-form dive off of a mountain into the water.
We have footage of that.
And I mean, no one else in our theater laughed, but that always makes me laugh. I don't know. But it was a cool shot. He dives in the water, and then he comes up, is running at Godzilla on all fours.
The Kong's trying to calm down. He's like, hold on, slow down. Like, we have to go to this portal. Before he can.
Slow down.
Godzilla lowered his up his shoulder and got a first down on that play.
No, seriously.
Knocks him back.
Kong is standing there, and you can tell Kong kind of takes his head. I mean, Godzilla goes full form, perfect football tackle, drills Godzilla. I've got to say, in the IMAX theater, I mean, we're in IMAX, but in that Big D theater, that hit, I mean, you could just tell.
We can feel it.
Massive.
Some rocks hit us
boom,
on the impact.
Yeah. Hits him over the pyramid. And then Kong throws some dirt in his eye, like Bully McGuire.
Yeah.
And then some people were saying Kong was fighting cheap there, but that's.
I mean, Godzilla's atomic breath can be cheap. I mean, that's pretty cheap.
But basically, then Kong's like, "I'm gonna use this gauntlet." Delivers a right hand jab.
Starts to pull John Wick on him. Yeah. John Wick gonna kill him.
Seriously, Godzilla's about to light him up with the atomic breath again, but Kong's like, "No." Delivers a right hand jab with the gauntlet. Delivers a left hand jab.
Left, right.
Just starts freaking, he's on top of him, freaking just absolutely drilling him with these punches. And he basically knocks Godzilla out, at least what he thinks. Then he's dragging Godzilla. I mean, this scene, he was literally about to throw Godzilla into the portal. I don't know what his plan was after that, but he was just about to throw him in. But then Kong starts.
That was a really epic shot, dragging him into that portal.
Yeah.
It's like, dang, they're really gonna do Godzilla like this.
But Godzilla just won the last fight, but then don't worry because his atomic breath.
He goes fully pink power mode, and just at that point, Kong starts to just book it. And I should have filmed that scene because Kong just realizes like he needs to get out of there, and he does avoid the beam. But then before he has a chance, Godzilla has him pinned down and is about to literally kill him at this point. Like he killed Scylla, and then before he could, he's about ready to launch his atomic breath, upcharge his atomic breath into Kong's body, and Mothra stops the fight, and they have a scene where that's when the little girl and Mothra speak to Godzilla, and Godzilla finally shows some signs of humanity in him for a second there. He calmed down enough.
Finally doesn't kill something.
But I would have loved to have seen like the next, because they yell at the sky, which is really cool.
Some jump into the portal.
But I would love to have seen like the scene where like, how are we gonna do this? We're just gonna jump in here because they wait a few minutes.
No, they're both like bros,
yeah.
And they go in.
Because then the next scene gets into what we saw in the trailer, where they land there and immediately start charging at Scar King and Shimu, which that's probably one of the coolest shots in the movies where they both jump into a battle. Yeah. It does suck that the gravity stuff caused that fight to not really happen per se, but that was a cool twist on the gravity stuff.
It was cool to see them battle.
Yeah, they were all like Mothra's shooting those webs at things, and sorry, I keep saying Luca. I keep Luca from freaking Planet of the Apes, but Suko. Because Luke is one of the gorillas in one of the Apes movies. But there's some really cool shots in there. I will say, from the viewing standpoint, even from far away, there's maybe a little too much upside down stuff.
Yeah, I could have done without the upside down stuff for sure. I don't think that added anything.
It happened a lot.
Like, yeah, that didn't really add anything at all.
No.
I do think, though, it is cool seeing the agility aspect of Kong and Scar King battling with the gravity, jumping from rock to rock. You see Scar King using the lip slash to kind of pull Kong in.
Yeah.
They deliver some hits. And then you see Shimo actually fire the ice power Godzilla, freezes him, somehow gets out of it and just freaking flies at him. And then after that, they end up in the city. I guess, where are they at? They're at, where are they? They go from Miami, Florida to Cairo to all these places.
Yeah.
Where do they end up in the end of the movie?
They end up in
it's just a statue. Brazil. Is it Brazil? Yeah, that's true. It's Brazil. And that's where Shimo and Scar King, they all land, I feel like, around the same time. But basically, they go in, Scar King lands, sees people running, and just immediately just starts to be a freaking tyrant again.
He tells Shimo to light up the sky, which I think that would have triggered a cold to go across the world or something like that.
Another ice age.
Yeah, but then before that could happen, like then Godzilla and Kong show up, and in that fight from far away, you could see a lot more teamwork and cool shots. Like, I mean, there's too much to even talk about, but you got Godzilla cutting off Shimo a couple times. There's a point where Kong's fighting both Shimo and Scar King at the same time again. Godzilla goes supercharged mode and starts to attack Scar King for once, which is cool to see. Because Scar King and Godzilla didn't really face off much, but they do face off a little bit. Godzilla breaks this freaking spine whip in half, and then that's when that starts to like try to pick up the.
Well, even to start though, that fight to start when Shimo is lighting up the sky, and then Scar King thinks Godzilla and Kong aren't coming near him, I guess, and Kong just comes and freaking knocks him out.
Yeah, seriously.
Start. But then that battle is really cool. How you see Shimo really taking it to Godzilla, freaking pushing him back. You can tell he is a very powerful monster, and you also see the cool scene, like you said, that Shimo's running at Kong, Godzilla comes in, trucks into him. That we could not tell when we were close to the screen, we were in the back row. Those scenes definitely paid off.
Yeah. Some
cool back and forth between Scar King and Kong.
Obviously, the cool shot where Kong throws Scar King into Godzilla's tail whip.
Yeah.
And then obviously Shimo, when Suko breaks the key to controlling Shimo, there's a point where he like feels free, looks at Godzilla, and then looks at Scar King and just absolutely freezes Scar King, his whole body. He's still somewhat alive, and that's when Kong looks at him and then just slams his body to the ground.
Yeah. Really cool scene. It was really cool to see these scenes from far away. I do wish we would have got like probably longer of a scene between Godzilla and Shimo, but still, it was just so much cool monster action. It's hard to complain. There's so many monsters on screen. Caitlin Branch, True, and all the traps Kong had everywhere. Yeah, no, I still don't even know when he set those up, but.
Well, you never saw him set them up, but he obviously it's implied that he did.
I was thinking maybe it could have been there's other Kongs to set it up, and then.
Kong knew where he was going.
That's true. Some of them didn't know.
You think all this Boy Scout crowd's gonna work?
Yeah.
Maybe lay on a hand might help out a little bit.
And Mr. Aviator Boy, Godzilla is much more savage than he was in Godzilla vs. Kong. He was pretty savage in Godzilla vs. Kong, but there's no doubt for the entire movie. I'm trying to think back to Godzilla vs. Kong. He's definitely he's not, I guess, on the same level. He does enter that kind of mode in the last fight, part 3 fight of Godzilla vs. Kong, where he starts going on all fours.
Yeah.
But there's no doubt. I mean, the way he destroys Scylla, I mean, he is just on.
He's moving fast underwater, and freaking he even does the same move when they're just floating with no gravity. Like Godzilla's just like he gets thrown into this world and without even hesitation.
He has no freaking off button. He is just 100%. You're gonna die.
There's some cool stuff in the lore there that talks about how Godzilla fought the entire Kong group by himself.
It makes sense.
And won that fight and forced them to like be imprisoned in that lava world, which is just is that the same Godzilla or is that a different Godzilla?
See, here's the thing.
It must have been different, Kenny.
See, I think when they were teasing that, I think they were talking about Shimo at that point.
I don't know.
No, it can't be.
Okay,
no.
Do you realize it had to be a different Godzilla? Because don't you remember Godzilla 2014? Godzilla 2014, there's an egg, remember? So that's Godzilla's hatch. Like, he hatches out of that
And that's
movie.
the thing that needs to be addressed, because if you compare Godzilla 2014, Scar King would probably annihilate the 2014 Godzilla. Kong would probably annihilate that Godzilla. It's like we've gone so far from what Godzilla started out as. It's got to be addressed. 2014, something must have happened that made him weaker. I know. Now people
He's young.
are probably thinking this right now. I know the Mutos, their powers, they make Godzilla weaker. That's just like part of how they are. But even with that, Godzilla 2014 is moving at a completely different speed. And I knew you can't incorporate. Like, he leveled up in this movie. But it is just so different that it's got to be addressed. Because how would the 2014 Godzilla fight 20 different Kongs?
Is a juvenile at the point, right? I mean, someone needs to tell us in the comments, like, how old is he in that movie?
Well, no, because he fought King Ghidorah way in the past.
Well, is it that Godzilla, though?
I think so, because the director confirmed, I'm pretty sure, now you can correct me if I'm wrong, anyone watching right now, pretty sure Godzilla was the one that got King Ghidorah. He pushed him into the ice and froze him. And that's how he got in the ice. It wasn't Shimo.
So think about that. Godzilla freaking imprisoned King Ghidorah, he imprisoned Scar King. I mean, Godzilla's lived a freaking heck of a life here. He's seen a lot of crap.
No, he's been around a lot. I mean,
a lot of crap, yes.
Mr. Aviator Boy, also Shimo being a huge ally to Kong now is very surprising. That will be a very, very powerful duo together. Yeah, no doubt.
Great. That's a great point, because it leads into the end when, after they take out Scar King, Shimu's back as like an ally, basically. It was very interesting to see at the end when I expected Kong and Zuko to go back to where Scar King's area is, but they walk back with Shimu right next to him.
And see, I'm fine with that. I would have liked. I think she has some kind of connection now because they saved her. But I would have maybe liked if she would have just like ran into the Hall of Earth, and then maybe they meet up with her later.
No.
Because I really do want to see the Kong Zuko. Maybe if Zuko grows up, I don't know. Is he always small or can he grow up?
He didn't grow up.
Okay, if he grows up, then that would be a very cool duo to see them doing stuff, hunting together, and like just seeing that relationship grow. But no, that's no doubt going to be a crazy duo with those two. I mean, having Shimo on your side.
Right, that's where I was talking about. If they do a Godzilla x Kong Civil War movie, as of right now, I would say Shimu is definitely on Kong's side. And
who's going to be on Godzilla's side?
Well, that's what I was going to say was Scylla and Tiamat would have definitely been on Kong's side, but I think a lot of those will just join Godzilla just out of fear. But I do think there's some allies to Godzilla that we've not met very much. I think Mothra would be loyal to Godzilla more. So I don't know if I don't think Mothra would ever choose a side, honestly, in this situation.
But I mean, who would be able to...
Who else would be was the... You were telling me his name. It's the one with the... It's like the Ankylosaurus one.
Oh, Anguirus?
Yeah. He's a... From what I read in the lore, he's a major Godzilla supporter.
Well, the thing is... Who would, like, right now, if Kong, Godzilla, and Shimo team up, like, who will be able to take them on? I mean, it would have to be the
Kong, Godzilla, and Shimo? Well, yeah.
It would have to be, like, that... I mean, if it was that skeleton... That's the thing...
King Ghidorah. Mecha King Ghidorah, Mecha Godzilla.
Maybe, but...
I mean, that'd be a heck of a freaking duo there.
Now, the thing is, we have to address... I don't know if anyone knows, but that one monster that is seen in this movie, the skeleton... That skeleton that Kong is walking on...
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably like 3 Kong heights tall. Just the head. Definitely. Which means the head is like 1,200 feet. Just the height of the head. And then the length of that monster is like 20,000 feet. Like, how in the world is there a monster that big? And how could that even be in the same movie as...
Yeah.
I mean, that's like the size of the freaking thing's crap.
This world has just endless possibilities. That's a great point though about that last comment there.
Wait, hang on. I don't know any kaiju in Pacific Rim or MonsterVerse universe that can stop Evolve, Godzilla, Shimo, Beast, Glove, and Mothra. That's true. I mean, that
You know, Rodan would be on Godzilla's side. Right?
Yeah, well, maybe, I don't know. He was kind of.
Remember Rodan flopped into the water off.
Yeah, he was fighting against him in Godzilla King of Monsters, but
well, for a little bit.
That's true. No, Mr. Aviator Boy just said besides the gigantic dead skeleton. Yeah, that's the thing they could probably take on all four.
If that was a skull crawler, that'd been freaking epic.
Oh my gosh! If that's a skull crawler, I mean,
because think about it, Kong was undersized back then. I mean, that would be a problem.
Yeah, I think that's about it for the spoilers. I'd say. I mean, once again,
there was no end credit scene. There was the first time we watched it, we stayed all the way through, and you did hear Mothra's like yell or scream or sound at the very end of the credits. That wasn't much of an end credit scene, but
yeah, that's another thing.
You did hear Mothra.
Yeah, and you can tell us in the comments, anyone in the comments right now, like what monster do you want to see next? Because I was really hoping
Biollante
that there would just be some teaser at the end. I heard something about how there's gonna be a teaser that there was gonna be Destroy in the end credit scene. Would have been cool. I would have loved to have seen, even if you had some like vine coming out of the ground, that would have been a cool teaser for Biollante, and you could have said anything.
Something.
But there should have been some kind of teaser, I think, at the end. But yeah, there's no doubt. I really enjoyed this movie. I liked it the first time, but then being able to see everything happening on screen, I really enjoyed it the second time. And I said when I first watched it, I'm like, some of these movies you set expectations for them, like Age of Ultron. I remember watching that movie. I had expectations that could not be reached, and now it's one of my favorite movies of all time. I was disappointed when I first watched it a little bit because I hyped Ultron up too much. Very similar, but now I think he's amazing. This has already aged really well, and I think these fight scenes are going to age even better watching this again. But yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. Mr. Aviator, Shimo really looks like the MonsterVerse Mega Kaiju, and I love Shimo now. Yeah, for sure. It was very similar to the Mega Kaiju. I will hopefully be doing that video soon. I want to do it really soon, but we don't have any really footage of Shimo that I can legally show. So it's going to be a little tricky, but maybe that matchup will happen in Monster Madness. That is pretty soon. No doubt. It was really cool with the reveal scene. But yeah, that pretty much wraps up the spoilers. We're probably going to wrap this up. Appreciate everyone that was able to join, talk about spoilers. I should have probably planned this a little farther in advance, but I'm really glad for the people that were able to join.
Yeah.
Appreciate all of you. Do you want to give any final thoughts or final spoilers?
We definitely we've kind of covered all the spoilers, but it's just a really great, really fun time, great movie for this universe.
Good for monster fans.
Just great for monster fans. So that's why I get angry at critics that are like, we don't need any more of these. Like, you don't have to watch it then. Like, we enjoy it. Don't take it away from us. We enjoy it. Go watch your piece of crap, horrible movies you like to watch, but don't take it away from us. Like, there's certain movies I don't like, but I'm not going to say stop making them. I mean, just don't watch. So, I just want to call out those people I get pissed off about for saying stuff like that. But this was a really fun time at the theater. The actors did a great job. You can tell the director, listen to the fans, gave us a lot of monster on monster action, some great characters, and it gives you a great time and just world building. But at the same time, it makes you excited for what's to come. And I'd say that's my big question for you guys in the comments of this once this post after the stream. Let us know, like, what are some things that can, like, where are directions that this universe can go, and what would be the next villain you would like to see face off against Kong, Godzilla, or both, or whatever you want to see. Just let us know.
Yeah.
Because I think, in my opinion, the Civil War would be really cool.
Well, yeah, I do want to address the thing you were just saying about, like, there's, obviously, I think a lot of the MonsterVerse movies have been slammed really bad, and obviously everyone has their opinion to what they want to say about a movie. But just like Pacific Rim Uprising, people hated that movie. I mean, still hate that movie with a passion. I cannot believe how much people hate that movie. I read every comment in those videos. Everyone hates it, it seems like. I know everyone doesn't, but it seems like it is 95% of people hating that movie. But the movie got what people wanted to see. You saw monsters, you saw Jaegers, robots fighting each other. And that's what these movies are about. The director clearly knows that. There's some things that don't really make sense about how these fights happen, but people go to these movies to be entertained. And they give you what you want to see. You see monsters throwing down, and people really enjoy seeing it. So And these movies hopefully will keep making money. They've made money in the past because they please the fans. They care about the fans. And that's one of the most important things about movies nowadays. If you're pleasing the fans, then you're on the path to success.
Yeah. Look at John Wick. John Wick is literally a fan fest, and it's one of the best.
Does everything make sense all the time? No. Is everything logical? No.
I think it does. I mean,
is it all realistic? Not all the time.
John Wick, music, actors, scenes, world building.
The characters always slide down
It's so easy. Like John Wick. What do we want to see? We want to see John Wick say yeah, slow motion shots, club scenes,
people sliding downstairs.
And what do we get? Exactly what we asked for.
People
and then some.
heroes.
So, yeah. I just look at that formula model because I'm willing to freaking go to war for John Wick if I was able to.
Yeah, but just to read some comments before we close this up. Caitlin Branch, can't wait for the next one. Thank y'all. Yep. And then I agree, some are just dumb. Like some are just about single color skin. We have enough hate in the world. It's so dumb.
Yeah. Some people like to just hate.
Yeah,
for sure.
Some people just can't let us enjoy our monster movies in peace. They just can't let it happen.
Yeah. Go enjoy. Go handle you. Handle yourself.
No, if people hate this movie, I love their opinion. I effing love it. But
hey,
you know what?
You don't like this movie? Don't watch it.
I love your opinion. I effing love it.
Yeah, seriously, and you have your right to say that, but I have a right to respond to that opinion.
Yeah. On the internet. Okay, we're gonna stop quoting.
So, anyways, guys, that was our live stream talking about the spoilers from Godzilla X Kong, the New Empire. I will definitely be looking to buy a T-shirt or something for this, or a poster. I heard from Kaylin.
Oh yeah.
I believe I heard Kaylin a comment on something. There was theaters passing out posters for this movie. I would have loved to have got a poster for this movie. They were passing that out.
Oh, for sure. But actually, I wanted to show this before the stream.
Oh yeah.
I got this a few weeks ago. This is the Godzilla X Kong popcorn box, which
that's Kong.
It's a good material.
Yeah.
But
it's got Kong.
It's got Kong here. It's got Scar King.
Well,
he's kind of reflecting there. You got some like crystals there. You got Shimo, which is a cool shot here.
Shimo or Shimo?
It's Shimo.
Oh shoot.
It's fine. It doesn't matter. It's Shimo here, looking pretty cool. And then you got Godzilla,
supercharged.
Supercharged Godzilla. There's some popcorn stuff. But yeah, this is the. I guess I should have had this sitting here the whole time.
And at the theater, I forgot to show you when we were leaving. You know they had those cups, the themed cups.
Yeah.
They only had 2 left, and they were both Scar King.
No one wants Scar King?
Well, there's 2 left, but they had 2 Scar King cups, and they just had a single
go
Scar
out there
King
and support
figure.
Scar King.
Yeah, I'm going to go back and buy that tomorrow.
He's a good guy. He has a good cause.
I should have bought that damn thing.
He just wanted to rule the world. Give him a break. No, but... Wait, they're...
Oh, wow. Kaylin said her sister got this, too. Wow. Cool. That's awesome.
Nice. Yeah, it's
good quality.
And it goes really nice next to the John Wick 4 box.
It's a good quality item.
It's a good quality item. But yeah, thank you.
Clark, this is a good quality item.
Thank you everyone that joined the live stream. Really appreciate all of you. Caitlin Branch, Mr. Aviator Boy, Red Comics, Gabriel.
Kaylin, yes, they
Mountain
did.
Warriors.
You got popcorn, that's right.
Yeah.
She said, did you put popcorn in it?
Yeah, I actually got a second refill too. They were trying to give me a different one when I first checked it out. They tried to give me another Godzilla X Kong one. And I was like, no, I want this one. And they tried to give me that one. No, I want this one. Dog's not on it, but yeah, but once again, thank you everyone for joining. I know I've said that a million times. We're gonna wrap this up. Expect a video coming out very soon for top 5 favorite scenes, and then also expect some versus videos coming out soon. Very soon.
It's like Kaylin said, they said that they couldn't they couldn't fill it with popcorn. That's really stupid.
What?
That's really frustrating.
Was it like some health issue, and then now I guess I just ate some pop. Yeah. I did get sick after this. I wonder if that's why.
And Mr. Aviator said, expect Godzilla to be more powerful in the sequel as he always gets more. I know. At some point, Godzilla's just gonna show up and just like smile and it's gonna just disintegrate everything.
Yeah, Godzilla's power is just gonna be like he's gonna make you explode by looking at it.
Each movie he keeps going to a different place to upcharge. So like the Tiamat, they said like it has the most power of anywhere.
If he goes to
he gets all that power. He's gonna supercharge.
He's gonna supercharge.
He's gonna ultimate charge.
He's gonna like split the earth in half just by breathing.
The ultimate charge.
Alright, but yeah.
Anyways,
thank you everyone for joining. Look forward to some videos coming out soon, and make sure you let us know in the comments which monsters you want to see in Monster Madness. Yep. There's a few empty slots. Which ones do you want to see from this movie? And We will see you guys in the next video.
Yep. Thanks, guys, for watching. We'll see you guys soon. See you guys.
Bye, guys.
You see our rankings of this universe really soon too.
Thanks, guys.